Hello everybody, it's wonderful to be with you again. Today's session will focus on pranayama. Pranayama is a controlled yogic breathing which has different effects on the body, on our prana, the air, the life force, and ultimately it helps us to reduce our stress levels, our anxieties, it grounds us. So I believe it's useful to practice regularly. So today I'm going to introduce three different methods of pranayama or breathing techniques. One is called the square breathing. I'm going to explain what that means. The next one is Viloma breath, which I practice a lot with my yoga practice. So some of you might be quite familiar is the 3-level breathing. And the last one is the humming breath or Brahmari breath, which is a humming breath, which helps us very much to relax and ground, especially with the sound we make through this. So these are the three practices I'm going to introduce and practice with you. I want to make sure that we are very comfortable before we start the practice. So make sure that you sit somewhere very, very comfortable. If your body is not happy with sitting in cross-legged on the ground, you may want to sit on a chair. Especially in the middle practice, the 3-level Viloma practice, I might ask some of you to lie down because it's much easier to feel the 3 levels of breath when we are on the floor. But it's your choice, so you will make a decision what to do. Remember, if you need a cushion underneath you or behind you, please find that place where you are the most comfortable, so you could relax and you could focus on the breath, not on where and how you're sitting. I'm going to use my gong every time we finish one of the breathing practices. I'm going to use the ball to make sure that you know that that's the end, and then slowly bring you out. Before we start the first of the 3 different practices, I'd like to do a little bit of centering to make sure that we are all in that space where we are comfortable, where we are focused on what we need to do, what we want to do. So sit comfortably. Remember the balance of left and right and forwards and backwards. Allow the shoulders to soften, to relax. Hands wherever they naturally fall. So it could be on your knees, in your lap, on the thighs, wherever you feel that they are natural, they're easy, they're comfortable. Wherever you are, lengthen spine, drop shoulders down. Check that your head is in the middle. Either close the eyes or lower the gaze. Start noticing the breath. Breathe through the nose. Slowly in, slowly out. No need to control. Just observe the air. In through the nostrils. Out through the nostrils. Feel the body grounding, relaxing. Calm the mind. Leave your day outside of your room where you're practicing. Let the worries float away. Relax. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Come back to normal breath. Open the eyes. So the first practice for our session today is the square breathing. So if you imagine a square, each side the same length, the same breath will be the same length of time. So we're going to inhale 1, 2, then we're going to hold 1, 2, we're going to exhale 1, 2, hold 1, 2. We're going to do a few rounds of having inhales and exhales and pauses for 2, but then we're going to increase it to 3. So we're going to start with 1, 2, inhale, 1, 2, pause, 1, 2, exhale, 1, 2, pause. And then after a while, we're going to extend that. So the inhale will be 1, 2, 3. The pause will be 1, 2, 3. The exhale will be 1, 2, 3. Then the pause again will be 1, 2, 3. It will make more sense when we are practicing. So don't worry about it. If you mix it up, just come back and join us as we are practicing. We do a few rounds for both the 2 sides, then the 3 sides. Then remember the sound of my gong. I'm going to sound it 3 times and then slowly bring you out of the practice so you will know when we finish. So find your seat. Make sure you're even, balanced, hands relaxed. Lovely tall spine, relaxing the shoulders. Then either close your eyes or lower the gaze, whatever feels comfortable for your body. And start noticing the breath. Always breathe through the nose. Slowly in, slowly out. There's a yogic saying that the nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating. So very few practices when you use your mouth for breathing. So always use the nose. In through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. So let's start our square breathing. Inhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, pause 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2. Pause. 1, 2. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Come back to normal breath. Calm the breath. Relax the breath. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Come back to normal breath. When you're ready, open the eyes. So we just done this square breath. You can increase the length of the inhales, the pause, and the exhales and the pause, but slowly build that up. So starting with the count of 2 for each side, then 3, then you may increase it to 4. You know what your breathing allows you to do, where you feel that you're running out of breath, especially at the pause bit. You probably want to bring it down. So you could play with that, explore with that, what feels good. But it's a wonderful way to focus on your breath, especially if you have difficulty to meditate, difficulty to let go, because you really have to focus on the numbers. You really have to focus on where you are in your square. So the next breathing method is the Viloma breath, which has the 3 levels of breath, including the belly, the rib cage, and the upper part of your chest, your shoulders. So this is the type of breathing where you might find that lying down on your back can be easier to separate the 3 levels of breath. I'm going to start with the belly breath. So we're gonna feel that. I might instruct having your hands on your belly, because some of us feel the movement of our bellies a little bit better if our hands are there, so you know that you're pushing the breath into that lower part of your body. And then the next one is the rib cage, when you feel that the rib cage expanding. And then the last bit is when the upper part of your chest is lifting, when you feel that you need to open up your shoulders a little bit to fill the upper part of your lungs. And remember, our lungs are 3-dimensional. So you've got up, sideways, but the back as well. So especially when you're lying down on the mat, you might feel that the shoulder blades start pushing into the ground. So you may try doing it both ways. lying down and sitting up. If you find that sitting is not that great, especially if you are tending to sit in a very uncomfortable way, that might be a good idea to lie down on the floor. So we're going to start Viloma breath, which is the 3-level breaths, starting with the belly, then the rib cage, then the upper part of your lungs. So again, find your seat, make sure you're in the middle, nice and balanced, lovely tall body, or if you're lying down on the ground, lengthen the spine, drop the shoulders down, relax the neck, head in the middle, hands comfortable. And again, either close the eyes or lower the gaze, whichever feels the most comforting. And for now, just start noticing the breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. For now, just notice where the air goes without controlling. Notice whether you breathe naturally into your chest or in your belly, or a bit of both. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Come back to normal breath. And place both hands on your tummy. And before you push the air into your belly, just notice whether your hands are moving when you are breathing or not. That gives you a good indication whether you are breathing into your tummy or to the other parts of your lungs, the chest, the rib cage. And then start gently focusing on sending the air into the belly. So as you inhale, your belly expanding, feel the hands slightly lifting, and as you exhale, falling. Deep breath into your tummy. Guide the breath into the belly. Just like a balloon, expanding as you inhale and softening, falling as you exhale. Couple more. And come back to normal breath. Calming the breath. Relaxing the breath. Now you may have your hands either beside the body or on your knees, on the thighs, or you may decide to hold on to the rib cage. Again, when you're lying down, you may put your hands on the rib cage where you feel the ribs. And start gently directing the breath into your rib cage. Feel the hands moving a little bit as you're breathing into the rib cage. It might take a little bit of practice. And notice the difference. Observe. Slow it down. Another few breaths into the rib cage. Then release the hands back onto your knees, on the thighs. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Come back to normal breath. Open your eyes if you haven't done so. So we've done two parts of the Viloma breath. We've done the belly and we've done the rib cage. The third one is the upper chest and your shoulders. I wanted you to be able to explore this before we do that, and then we put the three levels back together. Because a lot of us, especially when we are anxious or really stressed, we breathe into this part of our chest. So if you put your hands on the upper part, just underneath the collarbone, and imagine that you are trying to get more air, especially if you have a little bits of air. It doesn't feel very comfortable. So having your hands on the upper part of your chest, try to lift the shoulders, lift the chest. And I will get you to close your eyes in a minute. I just wanted to make sure that you see where my hands are, so you know what part of your chest, where you feel the air. So relax your shoulders, hands on your chest, either lying down or seated. So eyes closed, lower the gaze, so focusing on your breath. And start directing the breath into the upper part of your chest, in your shoulders. You will feel the chest slightly lifting. Maybe the shoulders even pulling apart, expanding. Guide the breath to the upper part. Try to separate where the air goes. Few more breaths up here. Then come back to normal breath and release the hands either on the knees, on the thighs, or in your lap, or if you're lying down beside the body. And you're going to put the three different types of breaths together. So inhale into the belly, round the belly. Exhale, pull the belly button in. Inhale into the rib cage, into the middle part of your lungs. Soften, release the air. Inhale into your chest, into your shoulders. Exhale, slowly release the air. Let's do this once more. Inhale into the belly, round the belly. Exhale, release the air. You may want to pull the belly in. Inhale into the rib cage, into the middle part of the body. Exhale, release. Inhale into your chest, into your shoulders. Exhale, soften, release. Now we're going to build it up. Inhale into the belly a little bit, into the rib cage, into the chest. Exhale, soften the chest, soften the rib cage, pull the belly in. Inhale into the abdomen, into the rib cage, into the chest, shoulders. Exhale, soften, release from the shoulders, the chest, from the rib cage. Pull the tummy in. Let's do it once more. Inhale into the belly, round the belly, into the middle part, into the rib cage, into the upper part. Hold and soften the shoulders. Release the air from the chest, from the rib cage and pull the belly in, expel the air, and coming back to normal breath. Calm the breath. Relax the breath. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Come back to normal breath. Open your eyes. So this was the Viloma breath, which has the 3 levels in your belly, in your rib cage, and the upper part of your chest. It takes a little bit of practice to separate the 3 areas, the 3 levels. And you might have found that lying down on the ground, you could feel it a little bit better. But after a while, you will be able to separate and guide the breath into those 3 different levels, allowing the whole of the lung, the whole capacity of your lung space to fill up with air and release. So we've done now the square breaths, we've done the Viloma breaths, and the next one is the humming or the bee breaths or the Brahmari breaths. It is a little bit funny, but believe me, it has a really lovely calming effect on all of us. I'm not going to guide you to touch your face anywhere because we know what's going on at the moment in the world. But for this practice, we need to shut our ears. So whatever way you feel, whichever fingers or thumbs or even the little knuckles of your fingers, you can push the little bit of your ear in so you could hear a lot more of your own humming. Because what we're going to do is shut the ears and then make a bee sound, which is a humming sound, which has a vibration, which you will feel it will wash through the whole of your body. So I'm going to demonstrate. You might not hear it that well, but when you do it for yourself, it sounds really, really loud. So I'm going to try to make it as loud as I can so you could hear it. But believe me, I will hear it a lot louder than anybody. So I'm going to use my index fingers to shut my ears. Take a deep breath in. Now, I'm not sure how loud that was for you. It was pretty loud for me. The important aspect is to do it slowly. So inhale through your nose and exhale through the nose, doing the buzzing, humming breaths. So take it slowly. I cannot hear you. Maybe you've got some family members around. They might hear you a little bit, but believe me, get them along and get them to do it as well, because it has an amazing effect on the nervous system, on the body, and you will feel quite a bit of that buzzing, the sound, the vibration when you do it. So I'm going to do it 3 times. So please join me. Again, you know how long you could hold it. You know how long your breath is. So do it nice and slow, both the inhale and then the buzzing sound, the humming sound when you exhale. Remember, there's no right or wrong. Make sure you feel safe doing this. Make sure you do it slowly and do it for yourself. So whatever way you feel comfortable to shut your ears, take a deep breath in through your nose, then start the buzzing noise. Inhale through the nose. Once more, inhale through the nose. When you finish the third round, release your hands. Observe the effects of the humming breaths. Notice the sensations. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Open the eyes. So that was the Brahmari breaths or humming bee breaths. I find it's really calming, really grounding when I practice it. But out of the three practices, you might find one of them a little bit more effective for you. You prefer it a little bit more. So there's nothing wrong with choosing one which works for you. But remember, the other ones can be quite effective as well. So you may want to try them at different times. You can always come back to this video and see what we were doing, how we were doing it. Or keep practicing and enjoy all the different ways of breathing, grounding yourself, reducing the stress levels, especially during these difficult times. Thank you very much for practicing pranayama with me. I wish you all the very best. Namaste.